Everyone knows how intelligent, understanding, and loyal domestic animals can be. They perfectly recognize who treats them with kindness and warmth. But what about wild animals? Are dangerous predators capable of recognizing kindness shown to them and feeling gratitude? This is what we'll tell you about in our incredible story. It all started when the hero of this story, an elderly man, came across a very young wolf in the forest. The pensioner immediately realized something was wrong with the animal. The wolf was very thin and weak. Moreover, it didn't even try to run away from the human, as if it lacked the strength to do so. There was no sign of a she-wolf nearby. Then our hero saw that the animal's paw was stuck in an old rusty trap left in the forest after a long-ago hunt. The pensioner knew he couldn't leave the wolf to its fate. The animal was already so weak that it was unlikely to resist anything, and it certainly posed no danger. How long the beast had been in the trap was unknown, but most likely, it had been there for a very long time. The man freed the wolf's paw and managed to put a splint on it, as the limb was broken. It would take a long time before the animal could return to the forest and care for itself. So our hero took the wolf, which he named Gray, to his home. Of course, the animal had predatory habits, but gradually the wolf got used to its savior. The animal never showed a drop of aggression toward the man. It seemed the wolf perfectly understood that it survived only thanks to the pensioner. Even toward the man's grandson, who occasionally visited his grandfather, the beast was completely calm. Of course, it still couldn't be compared to a regular dog, but it posed no danger either. This unusual pet now lived with our hero. But one day, the animal disappeared. Most likely, animal instincts eventually took over, and the wolf ran back into the forest. The pensioner always knew this would happen someday, so he quickly came to terms with the absence of his unusual four-legged friend. But sometimes, the man still felt very lonely without the wolf. They had grown accustomed to each other and become friends. The old man thought, and was even sure, that he would never see Gray again. Why would a predator ever return now? It lived in its natural environment, and these conditions were the best for it. Our hero was happy about this, despite the sadness and longing. Time passed, and one day, something terrible happened. Once, the boy who had come to visit his grandfather again went for a walk in the forest. The child said he wouldn't stay long, but it had already gotten dark, and he still hadn't returned home. The old man, genuinely frightened, immediately went out to search. Although the boy knew these places very well, anything could happen. Why had he been gone for so long? Could he not understand that it was already late? The old man walked all the familiar paths but found nothing. There was no indication that the boy had been there, no trace at all. This was frightening and confusing. Almost in despair, the pensioner suddenly heard something approaching him very quickly. But it wasn't the child. Some animal was approaching the man. And then the old man saw a wolf, the very one he had once saved and tamed. Yes, it was Gray, now fully grown. Our hero recognized him because he limped on his front paw. The wolf wasn't going to attack. It didn't seem aggressive or angry. At first, the beast just stood and looked at the man. Then, apparently not getting the reaction it needed, it turned around and trudged into the forest. As it did so, the predator kept looking back. It seemed to want the man to follow it. That's exactly what our hero did. The beast walked in a certain direction and periodically looked back at the pensioner, who simply followed the animal. The man didn't know if he was doing the right thing. Did the predator really want the human to go in the same direction? What if he was following the wolf in vain, wasting time when he could have been searching? But the man and the beast didn't walk for long. Suddenly, at some point along the way, there was a rustle in the bushes, and the grandfather's grandson ran out to him. The boy was very scared but happy to have finally been found. Our hero's joy knew no bounds. How could he have doubted whether he really needed to follow the wolf? After all, this was his friend, who perfectly remembered that the man had once shown him kindness and compassion. Now the wolf was simply thanking the man. By the time the old man wanted to thank the predator himself, it was no longer around. It all seemed incredible. The man couldn't believe either that his grandson had finally been found, or that his four-legged friend, named Gray, had helped him find the boy. Would they ever meet again? Now, it seemed quite possible. Yes, a wolf is a wild animal, and it's no secret that this beast can be very dangerous. It will never behave like a regular domestic pet. However, this story shows that even dangerous animals are capable of understanding and remembering kindness shown to them and feeling grateful for it. See you soon.